Good day, students. Welcome to your examination-based conduct classes for 29 at Institute for Open Learning. This is your diploma course in policing. Your subject is Investigation of Crime 2A. The code of the subject is Pold Ioc 11. I am Master Tamarab, your tutor for this subject. My contact details are katili@legalshield.com.na or on my mobile 081-247-4088. Once again, welcome to Investigation of Crime 2A. Your outline for the presentation will be examination structure, continuous assessment, and how you need to prepare for your examination and what you need to do during your examinations. I hope by this time you already start of your studies once you are doing your assignments, so that you can just do revision when it comes to exams. If there is any questions, I think you can reserve them and then you can call me and ask me after the presentations, or you can send me a message, then I can respond back to you. Your examination structure is that the duration of the examination is 2.5 hours. Your paper will be 120 marks. You need to answer all the questions. There will be true and false statements and other short questions of marks ranging from 1 to 5. Additional to that, there will be questions that will be ranging from 5 to 15 marks. All questions in the examination paper are from the content of your study guide provided by IOL. If you deal with your private study guide thoroughly, you will be able, or you will be in a position to answer the questions in the examination. The structure of the examination does not differ much from your assignment. Therefore, you need to do your assignment on your own and not copying from the book. Then at least it will be easy for you to study. Your continuous assessment and how it's calculated. Continuous assessment by model that consists of one assignment. That is a compulsory assignment that counts 120 marks. The marks obtained in the assignment will be calculated as follows. The mark divided by 6 times 5, that will give you the final mark out of 100. And this final mark should be 50 and above for you to be admitted into your exam. Because your required sub-minimum for you to be admitted in your exam is it's 50%. So if you don't make it the 50%, you will not be admitted to the exam, and then you had to do it over. Even your exam, you are required to obtain a sub-minimum of 50 out of 100. If you don't make the 50, it will be difficult, because the 50 will be calculated against 60% weight for your examination, and your 40% weight will be calculated for the continuous assessment, meaning that a sub-minimum of 50 must be attained for you to be able to write the exam. Now, once you calculate this, you take your continuous assessment, the sub-minimum of 50 that you were requested to obtain, calculate it against 40%, and that gives you 20. Now you take the examination sub-minimum of 50, and you calculate it against 60 weight, the 60%, that gives you 30. Now you are one of the fortunate students on that basis that can calculate 30 times plus 20, and that gives you a final mark of 50. Because you need to obtain a sub-minimum of 50 for your final mark to be able to pass the subject or the model. I hope we are together, and I hope we understand how you calculate this, because this is sometimes confusing the students, and the students keep on calling, need to be explained on this one. So if there's anybody who is not clear on this before the exam, please make sure you call me so that you can understand before you go into your exam. For your preparation of your time exams, I'm requesting you to make contact with IOL as early as possible to obtain your timetable. Or either you visit your kiosk to obtain your timetable way in time, so that you know which models are written at which dates and time and the venue. Do not consult the IOL subject tutors on issues regarding timetable and other administrative details. Your timetable and your student card are the two important things to allow you or give you access to your examination venue. Then you can have your pens, enough pens, ruler, and watch. Cell phones normally are not allowed into exam venues, so carry enough material that needs to assist you during the exam. Read all the topics in your study guide for preparation of multi-choice, filling in missing words, etc., and true and false questions. Study hard to avoid disappointment, dear students. When we say study hard, students feel it's a joke, and after marking, students will start calling you for remarks. Students are calling you, did I really fail? Dear students, there is nothing we can do, so the only advice is that you need to study hard. That's why we are going this extent, and the institution is giving you this way for you to be given at least scope of what you need to consider when you are studying. Students need to spend time and thoroughly read the following topics in preparation for the examination: crime investigation and criminal justice system, participants to a crime, sources of crime, essence of criminal investigations, role players in the criminal justice system. You need to know roles of the specialized unit in the Namibian police, role of the investigative support divisions, those ones who are supporting the investigators in obtaining evidence, etc., crime scene management, case and inquest docket and supporting forms, crime information analysis and processing. If any of you spend time on these giving topics, they can't go wrong for you to pass this exam. So study hard so that you can prepare yourself for the exam. What you need to do during the exam is that you need to make sure that your student number is written correctly, if possible on all pages. Write your details as requested on the answer sheet. Write down the correct model name and code. It creates confusion if code and name of model is wrong, as the paper are sent from one tutor to another for marking. As a result of that, and delay the marking process. And once you delay the marking process, it means you delay the release of the results, because the institution is having a certain period that the paper should be marked, and after all the papers are in, they start preparing for the release of the exam results. So if you delay submitting, if your paper, because of your mistakes, delay the process, then you delay the entire organization or institution. So please, let's bring our side. Let's make sure what needs to be done is done correctly, and then the administration of the institution will run smoothly. Read the instructions carefully and ensure you know what is required. Before you start writing, read the exam paper first to make sure you understand the instructions and questions. Do not dive into writing without reading the entire paper. Once again, I'm saying, read the questions carefully. Don't decide you know the questions without even probably reading them. Students tend to answer wrong questions and lose valuable marks as a result of that. You are not allowed to change the sequence when you are answering with the question paper. Follow the sequence. Leave open spaces if you decided that you don't know this question and you go for the other one. In that way, you can still come back and complete whatever is needed, because it's very much confusing for me to search all around the paper to get where question 2.2 is or question 2.1 is. If this happens, it must be clearly marked to avoid confusion. You are not permitted to take any form of notes into the examination room. Plan how much time you want to spend on each question in order to save time. Plan your time wisely and write as quickly and neatly as possible. This should ensure that you finish on time. The very much important and sensitive one is that please take note of the mark allocation of each question into consideration when determining the length of your answer. You might find that a simple question might have asked you in the examination to provide 20 facts. Now you are writing 20 facts in the assignment, and the same question appear in the question paper, only requesting you to list maybe 10. Now you list, instead of listing the 10, you list and discuss them as they were in the assignment. The assignment, you are having enough time, so the longer the question is, it doesn't matter. But for the examination, we take consideration of your time allocated the 2.5 hours. That's why you might find that in the assignment, I will say list and discuss. Now in the assignment, I will only say list. Or if I say discuss this, I will say, okay, maybe this time around we only give them 5 marks. Now, because you had it for 20 marks in the assignment, now you wanted to come and write the whole 20. And then you waste time, because you only need 5 marks. So consider that one seriously, students. We came to the end of our presentation, and I wish you all the best in your examination. Study hard and pass. If there is any queries, any questions, any issues or comments, feel free to contact me at 081-247-4088. I thank you.